Hi traders, TheChartGuys here. I'm filling in for Dan. He is on vacation this week and we're so happy that he's taking a break. I'm covering the end of market review and I'm doing that in quotation marks, and we still have 1 hour left of trading. I have some after hours obligations. I wanted to get this done a little early and I have a lot to say, so let's get going. First of all, the swing report. The swing report has a sell once a year. It's $6.99 for non-TCG members, $4.99 for TCG members, and 22% off those prices for a full year of the swing report. It's about 42 pages document that covers market wins, relative rotation, and gives you trade ideas using promo code SWING2022. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I am TheChartGuys. All right, let's look at SPY. So SPY. The other day, Dan covered that we did not get hourly trend changes on names like Amazon that ran so hard. Let's look at it on the hourly. They ran so hard and then gave it all back. So I would say today with SPY, we're not running hard, obviously, but it's constructive. We got the higher high, lower low, lower high, higher low, higher high, and it's just very controlled. I don't see a lot of fear in the market. The VIX is coming down, actually. It's coming down pretty precipitously at the moment. So the VIX is coming in and we're just trading a little bit sideways. We're green on the day by 0.24%. Not a lot to, call mom about, but I want to look at just some different time frames. So hourly, 4 hour, we're looking for lower highs on the 4 hour, but look over here where we should have had an hourly lower high, a 4 hour lower high, and we just ran. I am not saying that that's going to happen again, but it's possible. We're always playing probabilities. We're looking at the left side of the chart to predict the right side of the chart. So odds favor lower highs on the 4 hour and the 12 hour. We have a little fly in the ointment for everybody tomorrow, the jobs report. So the jobs number could change everything. It could make it dump further. It could make it pop hard. So we're just going to have to wait and see what that macro event, binary event is going to happen. What's it going to bring? We have 47385 on any pop. We would be looking at resistance. And if you don't tune in to the pregame show, please tune into the pregame show tomorrow. The jobs report will be released while I'm live. We will go over the reaction and some strategies to that. Looking at the US 10-year, it has caused the pain for QQQ 1774. That's the monthly resistance. We have not broken that yet. We did get a weekly bull break overnight as the 10-year rises. That means that we could get more interest rate hikes in the future and sooner than we thought, and that's bad for tech. They have a lot of debt on their books and it impacts discounted cash flows or valuations. VIX, this was pretty fun this morning on the pregame show. The pregame show was right here. This was the candle we were at. Odds favored a lower high compared to 2079, and I just put this ellipse here. And the VIX does this often where it'll spike, break a resistance, can't get a candle close over, and down she goes. And that's exactly what happened. So we were here when I was drawing this ellipse in these levels. And then we had a bear flag, and then we had a bear break. And then we got a nice little pop, but we're getting another bear break. So the VIX pops typically aren't sustained very long. We'll get the short-term pop, and then it'll come down. There's only 2 times since I've been trading where the VIX stayed up for a relatively long time, and that was December 2018 and March of 2020 when we first got COVID through the country. So with the VIX, it's coming down nicely, which is good for the market. NASDAQ is popping slightly. So NASDAQ was the only one this morning, and I'm talking about the futures charts, with a 4 hour oversold RSI. So we're getting that bounce, and let's measure the bounce so far. We're not up to the 0.382. So we need to get over 15967 to negate the possibility of a bear flag on the 4 hour. It's probably clearer on the 6 hour and 12 hour. Yeah, the 6 hour, you can really see it there. Looking at QQQ, again, potential bear flag. We've cooled off the 4 hour RSI. So we're up more on QQQ than we are on other indices, the Fab 4 futures, that is. And it's because we were the most oversold. So I'm not saying that we have new big money pouring into QQQ today. Odds favor, this is just bears covering, and this is that dead cat bounce. We'll need to see some real buying and real volume in order to rebuild this chart. We have a lot of structure to rebuild. And I use those words rebuild because you tear down all of these supports. Think of it like floors in a building, and you tear this one down and you tear this one down. And now we've got to rebuild that scaffolding and to get price back up in a constructive way. XLV. XLV is having a nice pop today. It had a great pop. It gave it all back. I would say XLV is one of the weaker names today, one of the weaker sectors, and very erratic. XLF, so this yellow box actually drew this rectangle here, shorting 40.69 or targeting that for a short at open. We got that double top and down she went. That was our Queen of the Mountain trade from pregame, and that worked. So we're still up near all-time high. So yesterday, when everyone's crying a trail of tears, XLF got a new all-time high. Of course, it gave back a ton of that move toward the end of day, and it made up for it today. So finances and energy, finance, banks, and energy, they're positioned very well in the market. Gold, this is another call from last night that worked out very well if you took it. So on the 12-hour, we were looking for a lower high on gold, and we got that lower high, 1830 compared to 1833, and then we got the bear break. We broke this support of 1789. However, we are holding 1785. Let's look at Dixie real quick, the dollar. So the dollar, so we may get a dollar lower high compared to 96387. That's on the hourly. Probably clearer on the 4-hour. Yeah, a 4-hour lower high compared to 96.387, and that may give gold a bounce from where we are. We are not oversold on the 4-hour, and we got oversold on the hourly. We're bouncing slightly, but if the dollar can set that lower high and come down, that should help gold get a bounce. Oil, I got one successful short yesterday and one short for a loss today. I've just been flipping in and out of it. And what I'm looking for, let me start with the 2-week. So on the 2-week, we're looking for a potential head and shoulders. And if you're part of TCG, you know that I call it sometimes a faux head and shoulders, where it's not real. And then you zoom out and look at higher time frames, you're like, whoa, that could be a little bull flag there. It happens often where you get the faux head and shoulders, faux, and you may get a bear break and then it resumes higher or zooms higher because it's a bull flag. So odds favor a weekly lower high and a 2-week lower high compared to 85.41, but the bulls are showing no signs of giving up. And I've been noting this in the chat room. Let me show you. So I've been noting that XLE has had bullish divergence January 3rd and 4th, where our clues that oil could follow. I didn't act on that, but I've definitely taken notes. I kept posting it. January 3rd, XLE, bullish divergence. XLE is over the 50 MA with a daily higher high. Oil not even close. Here, XLE attempting a weekly higher high. Double top by 2 pennies. Oil not close. So all of those names were pushing hard before oil. So let's look at the comparison. And what could we have done with that information? So let's look at XLE. So on XLE, January 3rd made the daily higher high and got over that daily 50 MA, that yellow line. I'm going to clean this off. That yellow line, that's the daily 50 MA, and then got over the 56.61 on January 3rd. Now let's go look at oil. On January 3rd, oil could not make that daily higher high or get over the 50 MA. It was our clue. So seeing that XLE was leading, we could have entered oil long to get that long trade. We see it happen all the time with GDX and gold, and Dan calls it out. So that was just an awesome trade. I was observing it, but I did not act on it, and that's okay. I think part of the power is just seeing it, and the next time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen this game before. I know how this works out. Not that I will always know how it works out. It could not work the next time, but it's just imprinted in my memory bank now. Nat Gas, don't like this chart. They had inventory today. Slight bearish reaction. Where was the reaction? Here. They popped down. A slight bearish reaction on the inventory report. Go to the hourly. Here. I believe it was right in here. But we're real tight. Let's look at the monthly. So on the monthly, we're looking for a higher low. But we were looking for a higher low back here, and it just melted down. So Nat Gas loves to do this, where the odds favor a very obvious setup, and then it doesn't give us the obvious trade. So we'll see if Nat Gas can get over 415. First job is get over 394, then 415. I don't see a clear setup at the moment. Bitcoin has had some weakness overnight. We held that key 42333. We need to hold that to keep that weekly higher low. We are bouncing on the hourly. Next resistance 43794. Protective bulls are going to protect against a break of 44,000 with very little follow through, and then possibly move back down, looking for a potential bear flag. What time frame would that be on? The 6 hour. The 6 hour, you can see it the clearest. So as long as we're below EMAs, we are a bear flag is possible. So we need to get over those EMAs, and the first test is 44,000. And Apple was the final one I wanted to show you. These are my notes from this morning. So I showed everyone in pregame 172.31 and 172.21, and I posted it in the chat room. We know how Apple works. Apple loves to break a resistance or a support by a few pennies and then reverse. It does it all the time. So I wrote out 172. That is our bottom fishing level. So on Tuesday, Apple got a new all-time high. It stopped right at that 3 trillion market cap level and then pulled back. But that was a new all-time high on Tuesday. Then a super bearish day yesterday. So we're getting our first hourly oversold, coming off a new all-time high. Yes, please. Right into support. So this was our queen of the mountain trade. We had a lot of traders get it right here at 172. It got a little tweezer bottom right there on the 5-minute, and then it ran over $3. So I hope you got a piece of that. It'll be interesting going into tomorrow, but I will be going into tomorrow light. My positions are very light because I'm protective against those jobs numbers and what type of chaos could ensue to the upside or to the downside. So just be protective. All right. I want to show you the heat map. The heat map today, very balanced. When you have this kind of balance of green and red, you're going to just have, I don't like the word chop, but you're going to have a sideways day. And a sideways day is fine. Money rotating, trying to figure out what's the next value area. So pretty balanced day all in all. And that's it for our market review.